Hey there. So I was sharing a conversation with a client um, the other day, and he mentioned that he'd finished reading uh, one of Nelson Nash's books. It's called The Case for IBC, and he said there was a strategy in there that he wanted to talk about to help his new and thriving business. I think the business has been open for a few years now, but they just bought a building and they renovated it, and he was thinking he wanted to run his expenses and operational costs through this business. And so I was compelled to say to myself, I probably should reread that book. So I started reading it, and I came across the section that I find interesting, which is where they're talking about Nelson Nash's background, talking about Austrian economics, which is something that I have studied for the last almost 20 years. Anyway, I came across the section where he's talking about banking, the word banking, the title of his book there, Becoming Your Own Banker. What does that really mean, What is banking? How did the word even originate? Some will say, if you look it up, it'll say that it started in Italy, some will say in Germany, and some will say that it started that when you needed to borrow money, you had to go and you went and you sat on a bench, and the bench was generally on the banks of a river, so there's different, but that's kind of irrelevant in that what we're really talking about is the flowing of money. Money, as Nelson points out, that money has to flow, otherwise, it doesn't do anything. It's worthless. But so the analogy that is used in the book is, if someone were to say, well, the Amazon River is flowing down into the ocean, the Atlantic, and it doesn't have anything to do with the Indian Ocean on the other side of the world, well, that would be incorrect. That it's all one big system. And so the analogy is that banking and the flow of money around the globe is one big system. And so you have banks, you have insurance companies, you have corporations, and you have individuals that are all in this system, using this system. And the question is really that I want to pose is, how much of that do you really want to control in your own life? It could be your personal life, it could be your business life. It's all connected. We tend to, some of the thinking around banking is to, have one account for all your automobiles purchases and everything that goes with them, and maybe you have another one for your house, maybe you have another one for your kids, it's all one system. Ultimately, it's all one system. And so, just like water flows around the globe and through us, so does money. Money flows through our hands, and it's a question of how much of that do you want to control on the personal level, meaning that you have control of it. You decide when you want to borrow. You don't have to fill out any forms when you go to borrow it. Technically speaking, I say, you don't have to give your 2 years of tax returns and all that kind of stuff. With some insurance carriers, you do have to fill out forms. Some are automated up to a certain dollar amount, but it's quite simple to fill out a form and just email it in to request money. So really the question that I wanted to ask is, how much of it do you want to control? Because for us, just in the short time, and when I say short time, we just had our anniversary for our first policy here for 4 years. And we had already done so much with it. We borrowed and paid back, borrowed and paid back. We talked about this before. I think it was the first year we put up a fence and financed it through there. Instead of using credit cards, another financial institution, we financed that. We financed purchasing. We purchased 2 refrigerators this year, one to have in our basement for more freezer space and refrigerator space. We've taken vacations, and so we're in control of it. And as time goes on, that pool grows and grows because we continue to make premium payments. So that continues to grow, and at the same time, when we do take a loan, it's so important to pay it back. And really what you're doing is, if you have, once you get past your expenses, your monthly, yearly, whatever, you put that extra money into some place, either it's in your checking account or savings account, or you can put it back into your policy, or you send it back to the insurance companies to pay that loan off. More about that if you have questions about that, how that works. So anyway, the point also I wanted to make about this is that why would you want to do this? Well, so that you can create more peace of mind in your own life. Like when you take a loan from the insurance company, you decide yourself on the terms, the repayment schedule, the interest rate, if you want to get into that. We can talk about that. You control it all. Somebody recently asked me, well, is the insurance company going to set up a repayment schedule for us when we take a loan? And the answer is no. They have nothing to do with it. They just send you the money, and then you decide. So some people will actually put money aside in a policy to save for their taxes at the end of the year. And so you have, like, your money's doing double things, when that comes due, you pay the taxes, and then you continue to pay it back again. You put the money back in there for the following year, and you also have a death benefit, and you have a cash value that's growing consistently forever, uninterrupted. So why would you want to do this? Ultimately, I wanted to do it to have more control, which gives me more peace of mind, which gives me that sense of peace. Because the other thing I'm interested in is my own health and my family's health and all that. And stress is not good for our bodies. I just want to have a peace of mind that I'm in control while I go about my daily business of work or play or whatever, education, whatever I'm doing. I can do it with more peace of mind. And as time goes on, that will only grow. So this allows us that peace of mind so that we can be more of who we are. We're not so stressed out. We can be thoughtful. We can contemplate, which I think has huge value. All of those things. And to be able to trust ourselves in that we're doing what's best for ourselves, our family, our loved ones, and all of that. And if you are so inspired, you could share this concept with your friends, family, acquaintances, just on conversation, no pressure, you can just talk. If you have any questions that come up after you've watched this, please reach out to me either through email. You can text me. There's a phone number. That's my cell phone. If you would please like and subscribe to the channel, that helps, and all of that. So please do reach out, and until next time, take care.